Chapter 100, Oversights. Moora had been working for 30 hours straight. The bridge lights had dimmed and brightened twice to simulate a cycle of rest she hadn't taken. She stood at her station, shoulders tight, eyes moving methodically through flagged launch tasks that required the highest level of authorization. Thousands of decisions waited on her approval. Questions, contingencies, legal frameworks, cultural accommodations, the full architecture of shaper recruitment and training unfurled before her in layered panels. Already, nations across Earth had begun labeling the operation propaganda. Some attempted to block the videos outright. Others tried subtler approaches. Bandwidth throttling, maintenance outages, legal injunctions drafted in a dozen languages. It hadn't mattered. The Shaper AI had cataloged every attempt, countered them cleanly, and published a public index in response. Countries, departments, agencies, dual offenders, all listed as ineligible for direct benefit from Shaper operations on Earth. The list was already hundreds of thousands of names long and growing every second. Within days, it would be millions. Moora didn't review it. There wasn't time, and more importantly, there was no need. The AI's capacity for pattern recognition, intent modeling, and predictive behaviors was as close to perfect as reality allowed. If it flagged someone, they were a liability. Instead, Moora focused on her own ever-expanding queue of decisions. Gray area executive calls, mostly straightforward, all-consuming. She issued directives to departments and adjusted parameters within the AI's mandate, shaping the incursion with careful precision. Benrian arrived at her station and stood at attention. She glanced up at him briefly, then returned to her work. He wasn't scheduled to report yet, which meant whatever he was bringing her involved immediate risk, likely tied to the security of her teams as they prepared to make the physical contact with Earth's populations the following day. "Commander," Benrian said. "Speak quickly," Moora replied without looking up. "A Shaper team has been ambushed and killed in a city under our management," he said evenly. "San Francisco." That made her stop. Moora lifted her gaze and narrowed her eyes. "Untrained recruits?" "No, ma'am. Celebrated and capable tour." Benrian's tone remained steady. "The footage is on your panel." The ship's AI system pulled up the video instantly. It was barely a minute long. Moora didn't realize her mouth had fallen open until it was already happening. The footage showed shadows moving with intent, precision, violence executed too cleanly, too effectively. The tour never stood a chance. "Potential light tour," Benrian said carefully. "Clearly not illusions. Training across multiple disciplines. It could be a judge from Sanctuary." He sounded hopeful when he said it. Moora shook her head slowly. "No, that's a leech." Her voice hardened. "A very capable one. Native to a world with at least 3 saturation, maybe more." She exhaled sharply. "We'll need a specialized team immediately." Benrian nodded, disappointment flickering across his expression before discipline smothered it. "I can't spare you for this," Moora continued, meeting his eyes. "You're in charge of security while the world turns against us. You're the only one I trust to hold that line." She paused to ensure that the words landed. "If you can secure external aid, do so. Otherwise, assemble a team that can end this decisively. They cannot fail, and we cannot afford losses right now." Benrian straightened and saluted. "I'll need Emristel," he said. "Null essence, to ensure team survival." Moora considered it longer than she liked. Finally, she sighed. "Approved." Then more quietly, "Send an artifact to main control over the World Breakers students. Ensure they remain monitored and suppressed." Benrian nodded once and turned, leaving the bridge at a brisk pace. Moora closed her eyes. She didn't like coincidence. She didn't like convergence. And she hated, truly hated, how many small, unrelated variables were beginning to align at once. It felt wrong, like a pattern she hadn't accounted for, like a trap slowly tightening. Another priority alert flashed across her display, a communication from Shaper Council. Her chest tightened. She expected a recall, a cancellation, new orders stripping her of command. She opened the message, read it, then read it again. The third time, she slowed down, parsing every word with care. The Shapers were declaring war on Sanctuary. Project Paradise had been elevated to a top priority. Her mission was unchanged, but sharpened. Recruit every man, woman, and child on Earth who might benefit the Shapers in the coming conflict. Work quickly, withdraw as soon as feasible. Moora leaned back slightly, tension easing for the first time in days. That, at least, was excellent news.